Jessica Volpe, and I'm the founder of PastaPuttana Inc., which is a fresh pasta company located here in Chicago. We're actually standing here in my home kitchen, which I've rapidly cleaned before this, so don't look around too much. But we're actually doing the little cooking demo in my kitchen because you all will buy the pasta and go home and cook it in your own kitchen, and I want to show you how breezy it is and how simple it is to make a really beautiful fresh pasta oriented meal with very few ingredients. So the ingredients I'll be using in a couple of minutes to make the pasta. I just rummaged through my refrigerator and pulled out what looked good. The company, like I said, is PastaPuttana, which means pasta whore in Italian, because I am a pasta whore, and because puttana was the first Italian word I ever learned. I grew up in a Sicilian American family where the men use the word puttana a lot, but in the kitchen, not toward women. So that's the story behind that. The pasta itself is organic and locally sourced, which means that the semolina flour that I use to make the pasta is organic, certified organic. It comes from Heartland Mills in Kansas, and everything else pretty much is sourced from farmers that sell at Green City Market here in Chicago. So, it's the pasta is extremely fresh. The eggs I used were laying days before I used them in the pasta. Which means that the pasta cooks in seconds, and you can really taste the freshness of all the ingredients. Okay, so here I am with this is a whole wheat trinette. The trinette is the cut of the noodle, and it's sort of a thicker version of linguine, or kind of a square spaghetti, however you want to think about it. I'm gonna show you guys how to cook the whole wheat because it's the flavor that everybody requested that I make, and nobody knows what to do with it. And everyone, I think, there's a little bit of a stigma attached to whole wheat pasta because usually, particularly the dried versions, tend to have no flavor and they're just, gut busters. No, it just sits in your stomach. And my version is actually very light. And it also, the organic whole wheat flour has a very nutty taste to it. The whole wheat pasta has kind of a nutty flavor, so I suggest pairing it with things that can bring out that nuttiness, like manchego cheese, even chopped nuts, walnut oil, etc. Because I already told you guys that I rummaged through my refrigerator, I have nothing nutty that I'm pairing it with today. I actually just had some sliced button mushrooms and some organic spinach, baby spinach. Again, that's sort of the whole point, and that's kind of what I think of as sort of the beauty of this pasta. That's what I love about it so much. You're buying the pasta that you want to taste the fresh pasta, so you can sort of pair it with, anything within reason, and it's going to taste superb, and that's kind of the point. So anyway, what I have here is just, a couple quarts of boiling water, salted water, no biggie, everyone knows how to boil water, and the sliced mushrooms and the spinach. This is 4 ounces, so this is 1 serving, and when I sell it in 8-ounce packages, so I tell people it's dinner for 2 people, or if you wanted to serve it as a side dish, it would serve 4 people. So again, this is 4 ounces of the whole wheat trinette. Okay, so all I'm going to do is very simply, I just have a little bit of olive oil in here, extra virgin olive oil in here, and I'm just going to toss in the mushrooms, easy, saute these guys really quickly. And then I'm just going to slice up some spinach. And then my water is boiling. And I did salt the water. Of course, it's pasta. Everyone says salt the water for flavor. I do put a little bit of sea salt, not much, in the pasta, but it is present. So if you're busy and you forget to salt your pasta water, it's not a big deal. Okay, so while the mushrooms are quickly sauteing, I'm going to tell you guys quickly about my other flavors. They rotate seasonally, so my summer flavors and my fall and winter flavors are all kind of different. I have a golden egg. Right now it's the pappardelle noodle, the wide noodle. It goes really well in the wintertime with meat ragouts, heavier tomato sauces, wine-based sauces. Whole wheat trinette, I already told you what that goes. Nutty things with that. I have a seasonal herb, tagliatelle, which the herbs I kind of change every week. Sometimes I even use things like arugula or spinach. Depends on what looks good in the market, in Green City Market. But some of the flavor combinations I've used with that would be, basil and garlic chives. It's kind of a pesto-y flavor. Thyme, rosemary, and arugula, etc. That's a popular flavor. I also do a red chili linguine, which is a medium heat, and I char the chilies so it kind of has a smoky flavor in addition to the heat from the chilies. And that goes really well with seafood, I think. I do a white wine tagliatelle, which I don't have right now, but I may rotate it back in because some of this, that was a summer flavor, and once some of these winter flavors go out, I'll rotate that back in. Butternut squash, lasagnette noodle, which is kind of a little lasagna noodle. And I think that's it. Oh, and then lastly, a cremini mushroom tagliatelle, which is really nice. So anyway, here we are with the mushrooms. They look good. I'm going to drop in the spinach. And then the pasta goes in. So you can see I've done absolutely nothing except stand here and babble while the mushrooms were cooking. So very, very low maintenance. With the pasta, just sort of separate it as it goes into the water. No big deal. Pasta noodle. And then the pasta is probably done. So you can tell it's done. It puffs up. Fresh pasta doubles when it cooks. Sometimes it even triples, depending on how long you cook it for. I like a nice al dente, so I'm going to pull this now. But see, with this beautiful spider, it gets almost all the pasta at once, so. That's it. Easy. I'm going to put in just a little more olive oil. I'm allergic to dairy, so I'm not putting in cheese, but feel free. Or breadcrumbs are a nice topping too. Toasted breadcrumbs. Okay, so here is the finished product. The whole wheat trinette with the mushrooms and the spinach, a little olive oil, and then this is, you know, dinner for one person. I was talking about the locality of the ingredients that I use in the pasta, and I think it's important to talk for a minute about why I source everything that's possible. The semolina flour doesn't grow in the Midwest. Durum wheat doesn't grow in the Midwest. The closest I could find that was Kansas, but everything else is sourced locally, and I think it's important to do that with, you know, everyone's striving for sustainability, and I think it's important to support local farmers, Illinois farmers, Michigan farmers, Wisconsin farmers, not only to, not only for the environment and for the economy to save on gas, etc., but, you know, to support our neighbors, all of you lovely people are supporting me in my business, and I want to give back to the people that are, you know, creating our food, that are growing our food, and I think that's something that I'm very dedicated to. And not only is the product, you know, infinitely superior, when I personally think when you purchase it locally, it's so much fresher, and you can actually speak to the person who's growing, you know, the spinach or the mushrooms, etc. But, you know, you can develop relationships with the people who are, you know, nourishing your children and nourishing yourself. And I think that's really important. You don't have to be a cook to make this a beautiful meal. So please come visit me at the Crave party, and I look forward to it, and we'll have a glass of wine together.